as you can see, it's a lot easier for me to get in and around now. What I've been doing in answer to some of the questions that came up on the comments on the last video, I've marked out where the risers would be for the inside track. Yes, they are at 2%, so the idea is it should be able to get up there. 4 carriages, there'll be a set of points there, and then coming back round and down. Sorry about the jars, they're holding that in place, and right down to what will be the TMD or stroke fiddle yard. It'll be like a combination, and then the main bit is this lift up here. So starting from about halfway down, rising up, coming across, and then over. That's the highest point there, so this will all be at a slight angle as well, but as long as it's high enough to get above that tunnel portal, and it's long, it's high enough for the engines to get through. That's just jumped over, sorry about that. So I'll just put that back on. So as long as you can see, there's room for that to get underneath there, along with the carriages underneath there as well. So there's plenty of room there, and then that will swing around and come through at the back there, and then there'll be another section points taken over there. So the whole idea is to try and work out the length of the risers, and you can see from the picture here. So what I've been working on is this bit here. So where the green line is comes up and around, and where the blue line is, that's the inside track. So if I can get the locos up around that height from that distance, so it's 6 foot I need. So from this point here where my finger is going up round is 6 foot. From there coming down to there is 6 foot, and from there coming all the way down to there is 6 foot. So hopefully it will work. The risers aren't staying there, they're just there to give me an idea. What I intend to do in order to facilitate me putting dropper wires in is remove those risers, and I'm going to cut a series of wooden blocks. So the next bit I need to do now is to make the plywood base that this track is going to fit on all the way around here. So I'm going to start with this bit, and that'll be more or less a square with an arch cut out here, a curve cut out here, so I can slope down the mountains, and then this bit here will be flat, and that will be a tunnel, that will be a gradient going up the side, a cutting going up the side of the mountain going up there. That's the plan. So yeah, hopefully that's all going to work. So I'm going to make the plywood, cut the plywood, put the tracks down, screw the tracks down, put some power on, and then do an experiment as Ian suggested. Me and Zengage and Stephen from Elvendon is to try the different locals that I've chosen to go around there to see if they can actually get up there with 2, 3, 4, 5 carriages. Okay, see you later. So what I've now done is lay down the tracks roughly onto a piece of hardboard and plywood, and then I've laid down and joined up the curves, bringing it round, and then marked out the double line using the Pico 2, and made sure that I've used the outside, the curve mark, to give it plenty of room. I can always cut that down, but it's a lot harder to ease to add. So what I did is at certain points around, I just put these, marked them all the way around, and then I've drawn in. Now what's going to happen is that here I'm going to cut across that bit to allow it to start flexing, and the same at the end, and this bit here to allow it to start flexing down, but this will also flex down slowly. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I might have to cut bits, but if I get this bit all cut out now and try it, I've got the start of the bend, and then all I've got to do is measure the heights and cut blocks of wood to represent the risers. So this is the first bit I've completed. This is the main points. It's a large radius right hand turn, and I've screwed these down. I haven't glued them down, I've just screwed them onto the cork, onto the plywood base, and put two pieces of wood underneath. That'll form the height then that I'll have to curve everything to. So I'm now going to cut the pieces to fit that, to make that. So that's the highest point, and everything else goes up to that. So moving on. So I've laid the first track, and I was wrong about that measurement. It isn't 6 foot, it's 8 foot, so I've had to bring it back to here. But I've now laid it all the way round, going round and up. It's all just screwed in at the minute, nothing's laid in. I've tested it with this carriage, and it very gently comes down, no derailments. So if that's all the way round, it just slows down a bit there and races down to the end. But it's been difficult. I've had to add in an extra piece just here, but as you can see, it's holding its own, so it's not too steep. So hopefully that at 2 degrees should work. So now it's time to fire up the old Digitrax, get all the tracks temporarily wired up. I mean temporarily because when I do this, all the wires are going to go from underneath. That's why I've just screwed the tracks in, so I can lift them up, solder them, and then attach them properly. Not even glued down the cork, just to hold, so I can do this test. It's going to be an experiment basically. So I'll be back in a bit and we'll try it out, see if it'll pull. So as you can see, I've very crudely wired it all up using this junction here. Wherever I needed power, I've put power in. So the idea now is we're going to test that incline using a 4F. So from a dead stop at the beginning, it moves off. We're on 10%. Move it up to 25%. That's on 25%, and it's handling that quite well, very nicely. And when I get to the top, I'll just bring it back in reverse. So that's the highest point. So yeah, it's doing well. Now I know the wires are sticking out everywhere. Like I said, it is very crude. Drop that back down. But the incline works. So now I'm going to see what it does with a carriage on. Right, so we've got one carriage on. Let's see what it does. Again, I'll just take that up to 10% to start with. Move it up to 25%. And it's coping with that one carriage alright on 25%. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the rest on 25 and then push it up to 50 if I need it. But that's a lot slower than what I would be using it anyway. So I've got just a slight hitch there. I think I've caught on the wire somewhere. There we go. Yeah, caught on that wire there sticking up. But yeah, bring it back down. And again, a little sticky bit there. Yeah. I mean, obviously I will not be bringing this down in reverse when I'm running it. This is the direction it will be travelling in anyway, so just bring that back down, stop, and then we'll go for another carriage. Okay, so we've got 2 carriages, and we're going to get that going now from a dead stop, and we're on 25%. You can see that's struggling, so I'm going to move that up to 30, 40, 50%. And I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, we got slippage. So, rethink that idea. Oh, it's moving alright actually. It wasn't, I don't suppose it was on. Let me just reverse that and bring it back down. Yeah, the local wasn't on properly. That's much better. Still a bit of slipping. Oh, it could be connectivity actually, because I shouldn't be slipping coming down, should it? I've going to try 3 carriages now. I just changed the carriages over because I've got 3 similar ones. Give them a look and see what they can do. So straight up to 50%. Not a lot's happening here. No, it doesn't like it at all. Let's see if I can get a bit further on. All the wheels are on. See if I can get on the higher. No, it's not happy. Let's put it back in reverse. Yeah, it's happy to come down. Right, let's see. Right, I've got a feeling it's this carriage because it's quite stiff. The wheels are quite stiff. I'm going to have a look at that, because when I try the other 3, even at a low percentage, you can see it's moving. It's going reverse, go forward. Oh, just got company. Dog's in. Hi, Moles. What are you doing? Right, so give it a bit of juice. Oh, it's, yeah, we've got some slippage. Take it back. Right, hang on. Right, so now we've got 3 carriages on. So we'll standing start. Up to 30%. That's only on 30% power, and that's handling that very nicely. Tiny bit of slippage there. Bring it back down. And then I'll put it up to 50%. So it's on 50% now. Yeah, just a little bit. bring it back down. Right, so here we go, full throttle. Tiny bit of slowing down. I've gone over the point there, sorry about that. Whoa, bring it back down. Try that again. Full throttle. No problem. Right, 4 carriages and forward. I think no, it's backwards. And off we go. Taking up to 20%, slip in the power. There we go, look at that. Oh, a little bit there. Yeah, 4 carriages seem to be too much for it. Give it another go. No, not having 4 carriages. So methinks I'm going to have to either stay with 3 or get that lowered down a bit more. Hey ho, these things are sent to tries. I'm glad I found out now rather when I built it. So after more experimentation, I've now extended the track all the way down to here, and as you can see I've got 4 carriages. This is where it will come through a tunnel. There'll be a tunnel here, and it'll come out the tunnel. So now what I've done is extended that track all the way up and around and back around. So we'll give this another go. Turn the camera around. You can see it coming through now. So if I forward it up to full power, you can see it now takes that gradient nice and smooth all the way up to the top, and then in reverse all the way back. Nice and smooth. Very pleased with that. I'll take it right back to the beginning. So hopefully this, now I just need to box this all in, get it all screwed down, and that will work, and I can get my 4 carriages pulled up and around. And now I'm going to start working on this bit, which is the track coming in from the yard here. This is going to be here, and get that laid and start looking at experimenting on that and see if I can get the same thing working. And then when I've got that working, it's this one coming down and around. Now if I just drop that box, hopefully that will drop down and around, and then it will come level, hopefully round about here at this point here, which is where I'm going to have the station. What it does mean, if I look at the plan again, is that where I was going to have at this point here a little spin off from the inner track, that's now going to have to happen over here as it comes out where it's flat. So in order for the second track, which is here, to spin off, it's going to have to be on the flat to come out, go into the third line and follow the third line down. That'll be flat. Hope that makes sense. What I've then got to try and do is hopefully this corner will come flat. This is the one I'm worried about, because if it's the same distance it's going to end up coming down to about here, so I need to get it into the fiddle yard. Now I'm joined by the pussycat, who's got to see what I'm doing and wants some feeding. Right, that's it for now. Sorry it's a bit of a mess. I'm going to have a tidy up, have a cup of coffee and celebrate the fact I've managed to get this done. Yeah, so I'll publish this video just to let you know what I'm doing and the troubles I've had, and then just to prove that I have been doing some testing before I lay the track, and then I'll get this all fixed down. What I've got to do is get some more. I've got some curves here which I've got to get put in position, and what I do need is some more straights. I've got still got some of my track remaining from the old one, just need to clean that up and connect it together. What I do find is that the straights, the set track, is far easier to join than that other track. It's a pain in the backside. I'll just wait and see how much money I've got at the end of the month. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and diolch yn fawr for watching.